Baram you. Baram you. Babe, released in 1995 and is directed by Chris Newton. I don't know why, but when I see that name, I just have the urge to just scream it as if we were at a party somewhere, at a bar. That's what people do, right? At bars? I don't know, it's been so long since I've been to one. And he is also behind such films like Bulls, Stepping Out, and Miss Potter. And if you don't know it by now, this film is really starring the most adorable farm animals that you've ever laid eyes on. But if we're talking about the human characters and actors that starred in this film, of course it's starring James Cromwell and Magda Szubanski. And before we get started, I just want to make a big shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. Again, this was part of their last donation that they made to me with all the movies that they recommended and their huge donation that they sent me. Again, I'm so humbled and honored that you find this channel and find me entertaining enough to want to support it, so thank you both very, very much. If any of you out there want to dethrone these two as the PayPal donation king and queen, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, just attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and get my review of it done as quickly as I possibly can for you. Babe tells the story of an orphan piglet who is won at a county fair by farmer Arthur Hoggett, who used to be known as one of the best sheepdog trainers ever. But here in his later years, he's still itching for one more chance at sheepdog competition glory, but is getting old and is struggling keeping up with the times. Once Babe arrives at the farm, he starts befriending all the animals under Crockett's care. But most of the animals don't take kindly to Babe, as Babe doesn't really understand how the rules of a farm and animals work. And of course, this attitude of not accepting the way things are, this allows Babe to eventually become a sheepdog, just as a pig. And it also helps Hoggett adapt from the old ways to something new, and something probably better. I remember watching this movie all the time as a kid. This was one of those films that I could pop on and just repeat over and over and over again. Of course, in those days it was VHSs, so you'd have to watch it and then wait for it to rewind, and we had a very slow rewinder. So there was a while that I had to wait in order to start the film again. And it's funny, when I was a kid, I just loved this movie because, hey, it's animals. I love animals, and these animals talk. It's like a live-action Disney movie, except it's not Disney at all, but I like it. And now watching it in my older years, I'm finally realizing the situation that Babe was in and all of the other animals on the farm were in. This pig, Babe, came to this farm to be eaten. I think my younger mind knew that, but never comprehended what that meant. Oh, this lovable character, our protagonist of the entire movie, is supposed to be here to be cut open and sliced up and cooked as bacon and ham for Christmas dinner. It just goes to show you just how innocent the mind of a child really is. And when you're an adult, things just suck. And I had the sense that was going to happen, so I had a little apprehension going in and watching this movie. And it was still as charming and delightful as watching it as a kid. And how the message of this movie hits home more so with me. Babe is constantly being told all around this farm by everyone that's inhabited there for years, decades, that no, this is the way things are. The dogs get to ride in the truck with the boss. The cat gets to live inside. The rooster is supposed to be the one who gets on the roof and crows in the morning. You're a pig. You're just supposed to eat and get fat and feed the boss eventually. But this is a story about fighting back against what society has intended for you, and fighting back against prejudices and some inherited privileges that some species get over other species. Did my little 7-year-old mind comprehend that while watching it as a kid? Absolutely not. Again, this is a movie with just animals. I was having a good time. But as an adult, this film is just layered in all this beautiful subtext and allegories to today's society, at least in this country and all around the world. And the movie came out in 1995. This message is still relevant today. It's a timeless message. Really, this movie is timeless, and I think the reason why it is a timeless film is that all the choreography and all of the blocking with the animals, the majority of it is live action. All of it is real. Of course, when the animals talk, their mouths are moving along with the words that they're saying. As a kid, of course, I would believe that was true, but sadly, it's not. But this was really like the start and the perfectioning of that technology, of that motion capture technology. Being able to take an animal's head, computerize it, and then being able to move its mouth digitally with the lines that are being said by the voice actors that are off in a studio somewhere. You may not think that it's a big deal now because we have, what, like 50 filters and 100 different apps on our phone that could do that at a whim. But back in the 90s, this was pretty cutting-edge technology, which made this film so impressive that it was actually nominated for Best Picture at that year's Academy Awards, which I didn't watch the Academy Awards back then, but I can only imagine just the uproaring that cried out over the Academy with the nomination of this animal movie with CGI mouths moving, whereas like 3 years prior to that, Beauty and the Beast was nominated as an animated picture for Best Picture, and there was an uproaring for that, so I can only imagine all the backlash that this movie got. However, it's definitely deserving of Best Picture. Regardless of how many live-action actors are in the film, this movie has a great message, it's a great story, it has great choreography with all of these live-action animals, and it's inspirational. I don't know who could watch this entire film, and then when you get to that climax and you see just how perfect the whole competition goes, and seeing Hoggett look down at this adorable little piglet saying, "That'll do, pig, that'll do." I don't know how that can't get you tearing up and making you feel so inspired that you can do anything. Because that's exactly what this movie does. It inspires you. The only parts that really got under my skin or that upset me was just knowing what was happening to all those pigs in the beginning at the slaughterhouse and then moving to the farm. Just having the adult mindset of, oh hey, I know what's gonna happen to this pig, or at least I know what the intention with this pig is. And that's really sad because this pig is absolutely adorable. Not a vegan or anything, I do eat meat all the time, really, so I know in the back of my head what happens. It's just, you know, I don't wanna see it. And I see the places that the things happen at in this film, so it makes me a little sad. Again, it's a timeless movie, meant for people of all ages, meant for young children, it's meant for old adults. This story has a message that all of us could hear just every once in a while, so if you haven't seen it, it really holds up, I promise you. I'm gonna give Babe 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
So everyone, now typically is the point in my show where I would randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, but we're actually going to take care of the final recommendation, at least with this past donation that they made from Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. Their final recommendation was a film called Chicken Run, claymation movie that I've only seen once, and I'm not sure if it was because I just wasn't liking it as a kid, or if my parents wasn't really into it as a kid, but I remember it being like turned off midway through because I guess everyone in my household was bored. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy it now. I haven't seen it since it was released, which it's probably been like 20-25 years. So we'll check that one out next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave a recommendation below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. So guys, have you seen the movie Babe? What did you think about it? Does it hold up if you've watched it as a kid to when you are now? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Chicken Run. But in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.